Through the darkness, a future past, the magician longs to see. One chance out between two worlds. Fire, walk with me.
Black Lodge 2600 is a computer game created by Jack Locke and released over 20 years after the final episode of Twin Peaks. It's a computer game designed to run on modern systems, but resembles an early 80s Atari 2600 game. It's not a perfect reproduction of games from the second generation of video game consoles. The game is a bit too advanced looking here and there, and the sound is a little bit too advanced, but it's close nonetheless. You take on the role of Special Agent Dale Cooper when he becomes trapped in the Black Lodge and experiences the weird evil within. The series finale of Twin Peaks left a mark on viewers unequaled on television. Suddenly, with the return of David Lynch, the series became strange again. Dale was suddenly within the nightmare world that had been glinting at the edges of his vision for 28 episodes. Lost in a place haunted by memories, strange creatures, beautiful women, and eerie statuary. After listening to the impressive rendition of Sycamore Trees at the beginning, you press any key to start playing. The majority of gameplay is just moving Agent Cooper with the arrow keys around each stage, though later on you can use F2 key to alter time slightly. The game is divided up into square rooms and narrow rectangular corridors, each of which can be left by entering the top right corner of the screen. You will then be placed at the bottom left corner of the following screen. Finding the exact right point to enter can be a little tricky, especially when the real challenge of the game starts. After a couple of stages, Cooper's doppelganger appears and starts chasing you through each stage. Each room you enter will be slightly different than the one before it. Obstacles in the forms of moving chairs, waves of unreality that make you start moving backwards, or Laura Palmer's doppelganger will try to obstruct your movement. The obstacles, including invisible walls that knock you backward and thus towards your evil clone, get increasingly difficult to avoid. If you even touch one of the obstacles, your score lowers. If you are touched by your evil double, you are sent to a new screen showing Killer Bob attempting to merge with your double and send you back out into the world. You have 3 lives, represented by 3 chances to stop this merging process, by knocking an owl into either your double or Bob. Once you are out of lives, there's nothing to do except watch the merging process. The gameplay feels like it could easily have been a real Atari 2600 game. It's simple but addictive and very challenging. It takes a long time to get good at the game. It becomes especially difficult to avoid the moving chairs, pockets of weirdness, and your swift-running alter ego. After the first few introductory rooms, the levels become randomized, meaning you don't know playthrough to playthrough what's going to come next. The ultra-minimalistic sound effects, including synthesized voices that sound like the blockheads from the Gumby cartoon, are perfect.
I did not kill anybody.
They have a creepy feel to them that jibes exactly with the Black Lodge aesthetic. It's nothing short of amazing what this game has produced with Atari-style graphics. I immediately felt like I was inside the Black Lodge. The mystery of who you'll find, how they'll react, and what to do in each stage is arresting. I'm a big fan of retro gaming. Even though the Atari/Intellivision and ColecoVision era was before my time, I can still relish going back to that time period. And mixing that super retro feel with my favorite TV show ever was a thrilling experience. Why choose the Atari 2600 for the Black Lodge? Well, it's really weird, and that fits in perfectly with how weird the show was. Any Peaks fan knows that the feeling after the series finale. You need to know what is going on. You need to know what is happening. You want to be brought back into the world even though you know it's gone. To do more, to experience that world again. The game is spooky, brilliantly realized, visually very impressive for the technology used, and even really funny. All the little references in there are fun to watch and get. And this amazing game lets you do that in perfect retro style. If you're a fan of classic games and Twin Peaks, trying this free game out is a no-brainer. I've linked the website where you can pick this game up in the description box below. So long for now. I'll see you in the trees.
House Annie, House Annie, House Annie, House Annie, ho 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 ho.
Don't let yourself be hurt this time.